Hello students. Now the topic we are going to discuss is hematinics. Hematinics are the substances required in the formation of blood. Most important substances required in the formation of blood are iron, vitamin B12, folic acid and erythropoietin. Now for the purpose of simplicity and easy understanding, this topic is covered in 6 parts, that is 6 videos. First part, that is the first video, deals with introduction to hematinics and the process of erythropoiesis. That is the process of formation of red blood cells. Process of erythropoiesis helps us understand how iron, vitamin B12, folic acid and erythropoietin are essential for the formation of red blood cells and how their deficiency results in anemia. Second video, that is part 2, covers physiology of iron, that is absorption, transport, metabolism and physiological functions and excretion of iron. Third video, that is part 3, covers iron preparations, that is oral and parenteral iron preparations and acute iron poisoning, that is iron overload. We will discuss symptoms and treatment of iron overload. Fourth video deals with physiology of vitamin B12, that is absorption, transport, metabolism and physiological functions of vitamin B12 and oral and parenteral vitamin B12 preparations. Fifth video deals with physiology of folic acid, that is absorption, transport, metabolism and physiological functions of folic acid and its oral and parenteral preparations. Sixth video, that is the last video in the series, covers pharmacology of erythropoietin, a hormone produced by kidneys and its role in the formation of RBC. This is fifth video, that is hematinics part 5 in the series of videos on the topic hematinics. Now today we are going to discuss folic acid, physiology and preparation. Now under this we are going to study absorption and physiological functions of folic acid. We will study causes and manifestations of folate deficiency and we will also cover oral and parenteral preparations of folic acid. Now folic acid is a water soluble vitamin. It is vitamin B9, that is one of the B vitamins. When we talk about the dietary sources, folic acid is obtained from liver, green leafy vegetables, citrus fruits, fortified grains and cereals. Now as per RDA, that is the recommended dietary allowance, adults they require 0.2 milligram of folic acid per day, whereas during pregnancy and lactation the requirement is 0.8 milligrams per day. Now let's talk about the absorption of folic acid. Now folic acid is absorbed in the jejunum, that is the second part of the small intestine. Now in food, folic acid is present in the polyglutamic form, that is attached to the chains of glutamic acid. Now this polyglutamate dietary folic acid is water soluble and thus it is non-absorbable. Now this polyglutamate dietary folic acid is converted into monoglutamate form by the enzyme folate reductase, which is present in the mucosa of jejunum. Now this monoglutamate folic acid is absorbed in the enterocytes, that is the cells of the jejunum. Now in the enterocytes, monoglutamate folic acid is reduced to dihydrofolic acid by the enzyme folate reductase, which is present in the enterocytes, that is the cells of the jejunum. Now dihydrofolic acid is further converted, or it is further reduced to tetrahydrofolic acid by the enzyme dihydrofolate reductase, which is also present in the enterocytes. Now after this there is methylation of tetrahydrofolic acid. Methylation of tetrahydrofolic acid to methyl tetrahydrofolic acid takes place in the enterocytes by the enzyme serine hydroxymethyl transferase and also by the enzyme 5-methyl tetrahydromonoglutamate. Now this methyl tetrahydrofolic acid is then transported via the blood. It is transported via the portal circulation to the liver and by the blood circulation it is transported to the other body cells. Now, folic acid is stored in the liver for 2 to 3 months, while the other body cells utilize folic acid for the metabolic activity. Now, it is required by the cells of bone marrow for erythropoiesis. Now, let's talk about the physiological or metabolic functions of folic acid. In the body, folic acid is converted to tetrahydrofolic acid, and this tetrahydrofolic acid mediates one carbon transfer reactions by carrying a methyl group as an adduct. Now, first important physiological function of folic acid is it is required for the synthesis of thymidylate. Now, thymidylate is a nucleotide. It is required for the formation of DNA. So, that means folic acid is required for the synthesis of DNA, and synthesis of DNA is very essential for the division and differentiation of red blood cell precursors so that they develop to mature erythrocytes. So, folic acid is essential for the formation of RBCs. So, first physiological function of folic acid that we are covering is the synthesis of thymidylate, an essential constituent of DNA. Now, methyl tetrahydrofolate transfers the methyl group to cobalamin that results in the formation of methyl cobalamin, and tetrahydrofolate becomes free. Now, this tetrahydrofolate receives a methylene group from another amino acid, that is serine, and that results in the formation of methylene tetrahydrofolate. Now, this methylene tetrahydrofolate, it transfers the methylene group to deoxyuridine monophosphate that results in the formation of deoxythymidine monophosphate, and which is further converted into thymidine, and thymidine is a nucleotide. It is essential for the synthesis of DNA. So, that is how folic acid is essential for the synthesis of DNA. Second, folic acid is required for the conversion of homocysteine to methionine. That means folic acid converts homocysteine to methionine. It reduces the levels of homocysteine in the brain. Now, increased levels of homocysteine are associated with problems like atherosclerosis, platelet aggregation, and which in turn results in ischemic heart diseases. So, folic acid reduces the levels of homocysteine by converting homocysteine into methionine. Now, methyl tetrahydrofolate, it transfers the methyl group to cobalamin. So, there is formation of methyl cobalamin and tetrahydrofolate. Methyl cobalamin then transfers the methyl group to homocysteine, and homocysteine is converted to methionine. Thereby, there is a reduction or fall in the levels of homocysteine in the body. Now, a third very important role of folic acid is in the fetal development. Folic acid is required for the closures of neurophores. Now, it is required for the closure of anterior neurophores of the neural tube on 23rd day of gestation, and it is required for the closure of posterior neurophores of neural tube on 26th day of gestation. So, closure of anterior neurophore is essential for the formation of brain, and closure of posterior neurophore is essential for the normal formation of the spinal cord. And therefore, if there is deficiency of folic acid in the pregnant woman, baby may be born with anencephaly or spina bifida. Anencephaly is the incomplete formation of brain, whereas spina bifida is the incomplete formation of the spinal cord. Now, let's talk about the causes of folic acid deficiency. The first cause is the nutritional deficiency. So, if the folic acid is deficient in the diet itself, it results in the folic acid deficiency. Then deficiency can be because of the increased demand, and therefore the pregnant ladies and during the lactation, folic acid supplements should be given to the woman. Then impaired absorption is also one of the causes of folic acid deficiency. Chronic alcoholism reduces absorption of folic acid, and apart from that, long-term use of drugs like phenytoin, phenobarbital, primidone, oral contraceptives also reduces absorption of folic acid. Now, folic acid is available in the oral form as well as the injectables. Folic acid oral tablet 1 milligram. Another preparation is folic acid injections 5 milligram per ml, and these injections are available to be administered in intravenous form or subcutaneous, or for intramuscular administration. Now, manifestations of folate deficiency. First manifestation is megaloblastic anemia. Now, folic acid is required for the cell division, for the cell differentiation of RBC's precursor, and due to the deficiency of folic acid, due to impaired cell division, RBC precursors, they fail to undergo required cell division and differentiation, and therefore immature RBCs are produced. Now, because of the deficiency of folic acid, abnormal RBC precursors are produced. RBCs produced due to folic acid deficiency are larger than the normal RBCs and they are immature. And because of this abnormality, they are broken down. And this reduces total RBC count, resulting in megaloblastic anemia. So, in order to understand the requirement of folic acid during the process of erythropoiesis, during the process of formation of RBCs, kindly refer to my first video, that is hematinics part 1. Another manifestation of folate deficiency is the pancytopenia. Now, folic acid deficiency of folic acid reduces the number of RBCs, WBCs as well as the platelets. That results in the pancytopenia. Then another manifestation is the glossitis. Now, if suppose the tongue is wounded or it is slightly ruptured, there is rapid division of mucosal epithelial cells of the tongue, and old cells of the tongue are replaced by the new ones, and thus there is rapid healing of the tongue. Now, because of the folic acid deficiency, DNA precursors like thymidine, they are not produced, and thus old epithelial cells are not replaced, and there is slow division of cells because of the reduced synthesis of DNA, and this causes an inflammation of tongue, that is glossitis, and there is difficulty in talking and swallowing. A deficiency of folic acid also increases the levels of homocysteine, and increased levels of homocysteine stimulates release of inflammatory cytokines that induces the risk of atherosclerosis, and increased homocysteine also stimulate platelet aggregations which results in the ischemic heart disease. Now, neural tube defects, this again we have already discussed that folic acid is required for the formation of neural tube, and deficiency of folic acid can result in anencephaly, that is the absence of major portion of the brain, or it can result in spina bifida, that is the failure of spinal cord to develop properly. So, this is all about the physiology of folic acid and its preparation. If you find the session helpful, kindly like, subscribe and share this video. You can ask your doubts in the comment section. Thanks for watching the video.